Okay, semester astronomy and ACA cyber astronomy. Welcome. This is Mr. Krug coming at you for the first of our instructional videos on how to plot constellations on your constellation charts. So these are the first two charts you're getting for our class. You're going to get 4 total. This is the SC002 and SC002T. And remember, these charts are for the circumpolar, the North Circumpolar region. This is the part of the sky that's very close, circum, to a special star, the pole star, Polaris, circumpolar, close to the pole. And so because of that, these constellations always stay up in the sky at our latitude here at 40 degrees north. They never rise or set. So step 1 is on the easier chart, the SC002. You are just required to trace these 5 constellations. The only real difference between our chart and what the academic astronomy students are doing, at least on this chart, they also have to trace a rather obscure constellation called Camelopardalis the Giraffe. But you all don't need that one. You just need to focus on these 5. So we're going to trace Ursa Major, which to the Greeks was a big bear or a great bear with a long tail that eventually was chopped off by the goddess Hera. We have Ursa Minor, the little bear, which contains our North Star at the tip of the little bear's tail. And then snaking between them, my favorite constellation on the North Circumpolar Sky, Draco, the dragon with his diamond-shaped head. Finally, up above that, we have a couple of royalty on the sky. We've got Cassiopeia, the queen, and we've got Cepheus, the king. Depending on the time of night you see her, Cassiopeia could look like a W, an M, a 3, or an E, and then her hubby, Cepheus the king, looks like an upside-down house shape. So this is how your first star chart should look, the SC002. Step 1, just trace these 5 constellations. Okay, let's go to the 2T chart, and you're going to need to do a little bit more here. So we're now on the T chart. So step number 2, use the same color as the 2 chart and connect the dots to make our constellations Ursa Major and Ursa Minor, Draco, Cepheus, and Cassiopeia. Step 3, use the same color to write the constellation names in capital letters. Now also at this step, everybody listen carefully because this is the most missed step there is. You also need to show dotted lines to represent our asterisms of the big and the little dippers right there. So the Big Dipper, here's how I've chosen to do it, but you can do it a number of ways. I chose to trace the entire constellation and then add in a dotted line. If you'd like, you can just do the head and legs of the bear solid and just do the back end as a dotted line, as long as you find a way to show the very famous Big Dipper asterism. Now, the Little Dipper is far more challenging because it's basically the same exact shape as Ursa Minor is. So what I did, I just do a slight difference. When I'm doing Ursa Minor, the little bear, I connect all of these dots. When I'm doing the Little Dipper, I just do a dotted line around the outside. I leave the ladle right there open because the dippers always face each other, and when one is upside down, it's dumping its contents into the other and vice versa. So connect the dots to make our 5 constellations. Use dotted lines to add the little and big dippers and write their names in the same color. So notice everybody, steps 1 through 3, we haven't switched colors yet. Finally, friends, step 4 is where you switch colors to make the star names, and you're going to do these in lowercase letters. Now, what I like to do, and you don't have to do it, but I also put a little circle of color around the dots that we need for stars because it makes them pop a little bit and stand out a little bit better. So here in Ursa Major, or the Big Dipper, we have Dubhe and Merak. And remember, together, friends, they are known as our pointer stars because if you draw a line through them, they automatically point right at the North Star Polaris. That just might save your life someday, and it's key to stellar navigation. Then here in the Big Dipper, we have a quasi-double star here called Alcor and Mizar. If you have really good eyesight, this used to be used as a test for good eyesight back in ancient times. You could actually see both stars there instead of just one dot. Mizar is the brighter of the two, and then dimmer Alcor is up above it. So here in Ursa Major, you need 3, or I guess technically 4 stars. Up in Ursa Minor, we need Polaris, the North Star. That's our pole star. It's at the center of our bullseye. And then one of the two guardians of the pole is known as Kochab. It's that one right there. So Polaris and Kochab. Here in Draco the Dragon, in the trapezoid-shaped head, we have the bright star Edaman. Up here in Cepheus the King, everybody, we have Alderaan. And just remember, all these stars that start with AL, like Alderaan and Alcor, those are all Arabic stars because AL in Arabic meant the. Finally, up here in Cassiopeia the Queen, it sounds like a baby cow. This one is Kaf and then Shadir. So these are the stars that you need for step 4 for the 2T chart. Okay, let's review just really quickly, everybody. So step 1, you're going to trace these 5 constellations on the 002 chart. Steps 2 through 4 are on the 2T chart. Step 2, connect the dots to make the same constellations with the same color. Step 3, write the constellation names in all capital letters and make dotted lines for our asterisms, the Big Dipper and the Little Dipper. Finally, step 4 is the only time you switch colors to write in our star names in lowercase letters. So that's how your 2T chart should look. All right, our journey into learning the night sky is just beginning, and I hope that you'll stick with me every step of the way. For Mr. Krug, have a good night. Peace.